He was old, his hair white as snow, his bones weak, and his wife barren for decades. Yet in the dead of night, he whispered a prayer that defied biology, logic, and everything people believed was possible. And Allah responded. This is the emotional, miraculous story of Prophet Zakariya, alayhi salam, a prophet who taught us that dua is never too late, that even when the world gives up on you, Allah never does. Zakariya, alayhi salam, was a descendant of Prophet Dawood, alayhi salam, from the noble line of Bani Israel. He was chosen by Allah as a prophet and served as a religious leader, teacher, and guardian over the sacred temple in Jerusalem. He was known not for military power, nor for wealth, but for something far more powerful: his sincerity, his wisdom, his unwavering trust in Allah. But this is not just a story of a prophet, it's a story of a husband, a man who silently carried a deep, aching desire for decades, to have a child. Let's stop right here. How many of us have made dua for something, and after a few weeks, we give up? Now imagine, you've been making that same dua for decades. You're growing old, you've lost all hope, but your heart still turns to Allah. Comment below, Ya Allah, don't let me give up on my dua. Because the story you're about to hear proves one thing: dua is never wasted. Zakariya, alayhi salam, and his wife had spent most of their lives in service to Allah. But one trial remained. They had no children. In that society, having no offspring was seen as a loss, not just emotionally, but socially and spiritually. Who would carry on his legacy? Who would inherit the knowledge of the scriptures? Who would revive the deen after him? He felt this weight deeply, but still, he never complained. He waited, he served, he trusted, until one day, something changed. Zakariya, alayhi salam, had been the guardian of Maryam, alayha salam, the mother of Isa, alayhi salam. She was raised in the sanctuary under his protection, where she dedicated her life to worship. But Zakariya noticed something strange. Every time he entered upon her in the sanctuary, he found with her provision. Surah Ali Imran 3:37. Fruits out of season, food no one could have brought her, sustenance that only Allah could have sent. When he asked her, she simply replied, "It is from Allah. Indeed, Allah provides for whom He wills without account." 3:37. And at that moment, Zakariya's heart moved. He turned away from Maryam's chamber, walked quietly to a corner of the sanctuary, and made a dua that would echo through the heavens. "My Lord, grant me from yourself a good offspring. Indeed, you are the hearer of supplication." Surah Ali, Imran 3:38. Despite his age, despite the impossibility, despite the silence of years before, he still asked, because he knew the one who provided fruits in winter could grant a child in old age. Stop scrolling. If Zakariya, alayhi salam, can ask at 90 plus years old, what's stopping you from asking now? That thing you think is impossible, Allah can give it in an instant. Just ask. Comment, Ya Allah, don't leave me empty-handed. And send this video to someone who's losing hope in their dua. Be the reason someone makes a comeback in their deen. The Quran tells us that his dua was immediately answered. O Zakariya, indeed, we give you good tidings of a boy whose name will be Yahya. Surah Maryam 19:7. Not only did Allah give him a child, but a child with a miraculous name, Yahya, a name that had never been given before. We have not assigned to any before this name. 19:7. And this wasn't just a boy. He would be pure, noble, chaste, and a prophet in his own right. Allah didn't just give Zakariya a son, He gave him a legacy. Zakariya was stunned. "My Lord, how will I have a boy when my wife has been barren, and I have reached extreme old age?" 19:8. But Allah replied with divine certainty, "It is easy for me. I created you before, while you were nothing." 19:9. Nothing is difficult for Allah. And in that moment, all the years of waiting melted away. But then Allah gave Zakariya a sign, not of power, not of speech, of silence. Your sign is that you will not speak to the people for 3 nights, being sound. 1910. He wasn't mute from weakness. He was silenced by divine command. For 3 nights and days, he couldn't speak to anyone, even though he was perfectly healthy. Why? Because it was time to reflect, to absorb the miracle, to worship in silence. A moment so sacred, even words weren't allowed. When was the last time you were truly silent? No scrolling, no talking, no reacting. Just you and Allah. Maybe that's what your soul is missing. Comment. Ya Allah, help me slow down and reflect, because silence is sometimes the loudest form of worship. From that silence came Yahya, alayhi salam, a child described by Allah himself as a noble, chaste, and righteous prophet. 339. Kind to his parents, not arrogant or disobedient. 1914. He was given wisdom as a child. He wept often. He lived in devotion, and would go on to become one of the greatest prophets of Bani Israel. All from one whispered dua. What are you whispering into your pillow at night? What are the tears behind your closed door? Don't think Allah doesn't hear you. He heard Zakariya. He heard Maryam. He hears you. Leave a prayer in the comments, even just one word. Allah sees it. And maybe He's just waiting for you to finally ask. Some Israelite narrations say Zakariya's people eventually turned against him, either due to jealousy over Yahya or political reasons. Some claimed he was killed, while others say he died peacefully after Yahya's mission began. These narrations are not confirmed in the Quran or Sahih Hadith, so we treat them with caution. But what we do know is this: Zakariya alayhi salam lived a life of devotion, and Allah gave him not just a son, but a prophet, a miracle, and a legacy. The story of Zakariya is not just about fatherhood. It's about faith under pressure. It's about worship when no one sees you. It's about dua when there's no evidence it's working. Most people stop praying when their duas are delayed. Zakariya didn't. He kept asking. And when the time came, Allah gave him more than he ever imagined. So here's the question: are you willing to keep making dua, even if the answer doesn't come this week, this month, this decade? Comment. Ya Allah, make me among those who never stop asking you, because victory belongs to the ones who don't give up. Zakariya's story is proof that miracles come after silence, answers come after patience, and hope lives even in old age. He didn't need crowds or armies. He just needed a pure heart and a tongue that never gave up on Allah. So, if you're watching this right now and you feel hopeless, know this: your dua is not forgotten, your Lord is not deaf, and your miracle might be closer than you think. Comment. Ya Allah, write my dua in the list of accepted ones. Subscribe if you want more stories that awaken your soul. Share this with someone who needs to believe again. And remember, Zakariya, alayhi salam, was old, but he still asked, "You're still breathing, so what's stopping you?"